Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to High Top Sports Oregon. We're here because another commit. Just a day ago, you get two. Dan Lanning, reaches in his pocket and grabs another one. We have Derek the Duck. How are we doing today?
Man, I couldn't be more excited. It's been a wonderful last 2 days being a Duck. Dan Lanning is absolutely cooking on the recruiting trail. We got a surprise commit yesterday, one that was leaning Texas very, very heavily, and then all of a sudden, threw on the Oregon hat. Obviously, Jordan Davison yesterday, and now Deshaun Brame. So it's a great time to be a Duck.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at the young man. I have a little. This is per 247. He's a 4-star. He's a number 5 tight end in the nation, 102 nationally, 6'6", 235 pounds, out of Kansas. Boy, oh boy, what an absolute unit that is.
Yeah, you're not kidding. So I was actually just looking up like the average size of the NFL tight end right now, and it's 6'4", 254. So, we already got the height of that, surpasses the NFL tight end standard. And then, once he gets into this collegiate strength and conditioning program and puts on a little bit of weight here, this projects to be a massive pickup for the Ducks.
For sure. And I think the biggest thing, the biggest thing is you just got to get these big body guys. They're great red zone threats. You know, uh, you need some blockers, and you need a guy that can catch the ball. Seems like he can catch the ball out of the back, or with some tunnel screens and stuff like that. So he's not just a one dimensional blocking tight end. And you're starting to see that starting to trickle down into high school. The stuff we see in the NFL, the Kelsey style tight ends, and you're starting to see it kind of trickle down into college and to even high school.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's just kind of the way the position's going recently. Um, and he does project very well for kind of how Dan Lanning wants this offense to be run. He is that big body physical tight end. You can't teach the height. The NFL, or excuse me, the red zone threat, kind of like you were just alluding to. That's something that I think this guy in particular really excels in. Obviously, being 6'6", but he plays like a wide receiver. A lot of times
Yeah.
you're able to identify like a tight end. It's just a little more stiff when they're kind of navigating the catching process and such, but that's not made apparent here with Deshaun. So that's pretty exciting. Plays very much like a receiver.
Now, coming out of Kansas, Kansas doesn't produce they have talent there, but they don't have a whole lot of top tier guys. Kind of big to go in and yank one away from obviously K State, a very relevant program. Tennessee was after him, Missouri, teams like that. Staying close to home, he goes all the way to Eugene, so it just shows you that Dan Lang can seem like he can go and just kind of get who he wants.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's ironic this year in Kansas. Kansas has 2 of the top 5 tight ends in college football right now, with the number 1 overall tight end being in Kansas as well. And that's actually someone who Oregon was recruiting very heavily. They continue to pursue with his commitment date coming up here shortly. But I think it helps that the thought process is linking to in Kansas. I know that kind of a little bit with some brain here, but the fact is, he was trending very heavily to Tennessee as of recently. He's been in Oregon for quite some time now. The last 3 weeks in particular, we've seen a number of crystal balls trickle in.
Hold on. You're breaking up. You're breaking up real bad.
Oh, can you hear me?
You there? Oh yeah, way better now. Go ahead.
There we go. So yeah, I was saying he was trending to Tennessee very heavily, and that that's kind of been the thought process over the last 3 weeks. So for Dan Lanning to kind of be able to hunker down and lock this one down is pretty massive. I think all Duck fans knew in this class in particular we had to land 1 out of the 3 between Caleb Edwards, Lincoln Cure, and Deshaun Brame. So it's pretty exciting for the Ducks that they were able to lock this one down.
Yeah, for sure. So a little bit shorter video today, but yet another commit for Dan Lanning and the Ducks, and a big one with that big tight end. Super excited for the young man. Seems like he's going to be maybe not in year one. It's hard for tight ends their freshman year to really show out. But you're going to start seeing him sophomore, junior, senior year of college. He's really going to start to pop.
Oh yeah, I think so too. And just kind of how the tight end room set up right now, there is absolutely an avenue for him to get some serious playing time fairly early on. I think over the next year or two, it's going to be Kenyon Sadiq after this 25 season, or excuse me, 24 season. But he's going to have a route to some early playing time, and I think he's going to turn out to be a massive weapon for Dan Lanning and the Ducks.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, guys, we will see you later. And I am Cody, the Professor, Derek the Duck, and we are out.